Put you. That's gonna try to keep that in. All right, we've made it to Nashville. Welcome to the MVP Music City Open presented by Nashville. We've got a
presented by another round, but good try.
MVP, whatever. We'll have the P on the screen. You guys can read. That'll help. I like this event a lot. It's been one that I've done decently well in the past, and excited to be back. Last week we had Austin. Played decent.
Yeah, I was okay with my play.
Yeah.
I made it through Sprinkle Valley, averaging maybe 10-20, barely made the cut. Shot 2 decent rounds over at Pennock.
Yeah.
Yep. And jumped up maybe 30th place, something like that.
Cashed?
So cashed. Take that.
I was like the opposite. I played Sprinkle pretty well because I love that course so much that it suits my game, and I felt like I could just really shape lines in those woods. And then I got to the open Pennock course, had to throw some nukes, and just threw it OB every time. Putted well, but I threw the disc OB.
Right,
and,
led the field in putting. That's a pretty crazy stat.
Just fell off. So I got to keep the putting up. Got to throw some good shots. Let's get right into the course preview, y'all. They've made some changes. We got a new hole 1.
It should be interesting, man. We love this course in years past, so hopefully it's more of the same stuff.
Right. They always do make a few tweaks at least.
Yep.
So let's see what we got. It's an off week this week, so we're here like a few days early, so we don't have the hole signs up yet. So we're trying to get this content out to you guys ASAP. We're trying to really just beat everyone else that makes content these days because everybody has a practice round, so we gotta get them out early.
I'm actually playing Jonesboro tomorrow, and drove out here to get this practice run done.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Leave Goose Man some comments, some likes in the comments for the 4-hour drive he's going both ways.
Unfortunately, we don't have Eli today, so you'll just be stuck with Ezra and I for the camera work. So you probably won't see the two of us in the frame very often.
That might be a good thing. Maybe people prefer that.
Yeah.
We have hole 1 here, which is a 280-foot hole 3. Basically, they took old hole 3 from last year, cut out the tee shot, dropped us to where like a perfect tee shot would land if this was inbounds, and then this is what we got left. Pretty wide open for about 80% of the flight. And then the green is pretty well protected. You have to try to just pick a gap and poke through. It's also, there's some rocks and stuff too, so the skip shot doesn't always work out. I'm gonna rip a cap wrap at the trees and hopefully get through.
Yeah, not a super nervy shot at least. It's not like you have to hit like a tight gap or something off the tee. You can just let one rip.
You're pretty much guaranteed a C2 putt at worst.
Right.
Is probably. Let's do that. Actually, no, that's good. It's not bad.
Honestly, right edge of C2.
Yeah.
Could have gotten up there a little closer too.
Right.
It's what you're looking for.
I feel like there's not a whole lot I can show on this shot. I mean, there's definitely some gaps you can maybe aim for, but for the most part, we're just throwing at it.
When this was a par 3 in the past, it was kind of off to the right, and you got to throw a forehand at it, which I thought was a cool hole. It's a really interesting, kind of fun green, but other than that, the shot's, I don't know, a little boring. It's just a chip hyzer. You're just trying to get your height right. There is that right gap over there, but pretty much anything, just get the right height. You got a chance of getting up there. C2, worst case scenario. Yeah, pretty standard stuff. This is gonna happen to most players, I think, on this hole. They do have this rough cleaned out pretty well. Years past, it's definitely been pretty, lots of twigs and stuff in the way, so you can definitely scramble from there, which will be nice. Yeah, and then you just have a lot of these weird kind of off obstructed putts.
There you go. Nice.
First putts of the day.
I do like how like there's no trees immediately next to the basket, and there's not like too many on the green either. Because sometimes when that happens, like you might find a weird spot where you don't have a putt.
Yeah, especially like if you miss like a circle 2 putt as well.
Right.
You'll be 20 feet and not have a putt sometimes.
Yeah.
But here you don't have that.
Yeah, here no matter what, like I'll have something in my way, but I can always straddle out somewhere and get a line at it. Oh. I will say it's a little disappointing that they turned this par 4 into a par 3.
Especially because they just kind of cut out the like risk reward shot of it and just gave us all the easiest landing zone.
Right.
I don't know, maybe make it a little farther or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to see on the back nine why they decided to do that, because they obviously made some changes that are affected by that as well. But
hole 2, 559. You're going through this gap off the tee, pretty tight. Preferably a forehand shot. Then you're going up the hill to the right, kind of around the corner to this kind of secluded green behind some trees. Pretty solid par 4. I think most people will be going forehand off the tee, but it doesn't really matter. You just need to get straight out into that field. And I think that's the big mistake most people make with this shot, is they try to get right when in fact you just need to go straight. You just need to make the gap and get out somewhere.
Yeah.
And then it's a pretty manageable shot from
It's
there.
not that long of a hole, so as long as you're outside the woods, you should be able to get to the green.
I have gone OB long with a distance driver before.
Just throwing too straight?
So yeah,
And
exactly.
and long?
So I think I like the Raptor on this shot.
So you're thinking if you throw Raptor too straight, it's probably still short inbounds? Okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to hit it hard. I think it helps me hit the gap.
Yeah.
And then if I miss it, it'll still be too short to be OB.
Hey man, you hit the gap. Well, you hit a gap.
That'll
Sorry.
work.
You hit a gap.
Out in the fairway. Let me try one more. Oh, still getting the arm going.
There you go. See, that's the difference, you know? The 2025 2-hole series, they just fly better.
They just fly better.
They just hit gas better.
They just go where you want them to.
I'm gonna throw a forehand. I've seen people throw roller on this shot too, which
That's kind of crazy.
seems kind of crazy to me, but especially with like the uphill, like I feel like that'd be a inconsistent result off the bounce, but. Interesting.
You know what I would do if I were you?
You throw a 2025 2-hole series young Gus's Raptor.
But if I were you, I'd throw a 2025 Tour Series Ezra Aderhold NUKE.
Oh, not one of these.
Maybe one of those.
There's so much pressure to hit this gap. But it's just so easy when you use the right disc.
Good.
You know, use the right disc. It's just it's an easy game.
They're just too good. All right, got a little sneaky through the gap, but we're out in the open. This is a long forehand here. You have to get around those trees. The key to the shot is just don't come up short, right? You just got to push it too straight, if anything. Give yourself a putt.
Yep.
Swing. All right, that's probably edge of C1, is my guess.
Yeah.
40 feet, something like that.
Avoid the danger.
I'll take that for being in this spot for sure. Pretty perfect shot here from Ezra.
Well, it's a perfect disc, so it's like, you know, of course.
Pushing a little close to the out of bounds.
That's what I'm thinking too. So I think what you said about the Raptor play is making a lot more sense too.
Right, my Raptor came up maybe 20 feet short of his NUKE there. This is really where you want to be because you can almost see the basket.
I can actually see the basket. Look at this camera walk. Look
wow,
at this.
look at that.
Jeez.
You can see the basket.
Bro, it needs a lot of skip. A lot more
Ezra
skip.
decided to play it super safe, but don't blame him. When you're the best putter in the world, you play for putts.
I should have thrown the right disc.
Ooh,
Oh, I did the same thing.
launched it.
Oh wow, it really did fly. Wow.
Launched it.
Wow, those 2-hole series nukes really go a long ways. Such easy distance.
Man, I still grabbed CTP from this guy.
Yeah, my throwing stats have sucked. I don't know what to do. I can't have both bad. I gotta have at least one.
Gotta have one or the other. Ah! Oh. Well, this pond is actually out of bounds, but they cleaned up this area a lot. It used to look more like that, where if you were in it at all, you were just kind of like, had nothing but a pitch out. So you can actually play this a little tighter to the basket, a little, I don't know.
A little more aggressive.
A little more aggressive, right. Because if you come up there, you just have some kind of obstructed putt rather than just like a pitch out. Oh, already breaking things.
Oh, the cap came off?
Yeah. Knocked the top off the basket.
All right, before we get too far along here, guys, I want to talk to you guys about a brand new, amazing game for disc golf. We have Hold My Bag, which is the best fantasy disc golf game ever created. Pretty exciting stuff. You can play for free, and there'll also be prizes as well if you make good picks, which my picks for the Music City Open, basically how it works is you have like 5 different tiers of players. You got like the best guys at the top, the next kind of group, next group. You got to pick one person from each level, and then if you are good with your picks, you can win stuff. So my number 1 pick for the top group, I went with Anthony Barella. He's been on like every single lead call this season. I feel like there's a good chance that continues. My number 2 tier pick, or my tier 2 pick, went with Simon Lizotte. He won this event the last 2 tournaments, the last two seasons. So I feel like there's a good chance he plays well. He plays well again.
Man. That hurts.
Are you in tier 2?
I was in tier 2.
See, now that hurts me because I'm in tier 3, which is my 3rd pick. I'm going with myself. I like this event. I feel like I'm going to win, so it's like obviously I've got to pick myself. I went with Austin Turner for tier 4. Best lefty in the world. I feel like this course suits him pretty well. He's also been playing pretty well this season. He's kind of a maniac, so.
He's also had good finishes here. I think he's taken top 10 last 2-3 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like that. And then my TR5, which is the biggest TR, we went with Zach Nash. Super high ceiling. This guy could win the event as well. And I feel really good with my picks. If you guys think you guys can beat my picks, which it's unlikely, obviously, but sign up, use my link below, or I'll probably put it up here somewhere too. And you can make your picks and try to beat me, try to get some cash prizes. Back nine, Goose is going to talk about his picks. You can use his affiliate link as well. And
I've got some spicy picks. I think you'll be surprised by a couple.
I think I will be surprised by them because they're going to be trash. I'm going to smoke you this week. All right, let's get back to the course breakdown here. All right, we got a 625-foot par 4 with a not Mando wood sign that you can technically throw over top if you want to.
Interesting.
The play on this hole used to be to go right through where that piece of plywood is and go over the tree line and then make your upshot pretty easy. But now that that's there, it makes it really tricky because you have to either go super high, which makes the distance past the trees really difficult, or you're just filming like right here. Is that what people... You can't show everything, dude, with that. But now with that, I think it makes it too tricky. I try to blast through the gap and get to the basket. It makes the hole way more difficult. Some people will even go like flex forehand or like stand up pushing hyzer and try to get through the gap as well, which is asking kind of a lot. I'm gonna try to swarm here and just get to a landing zone.
So I like this play because it's a pretty stock shot and it keeps birdie in play as long as possible. So kind of no matter where you throw that, you still have a chance of getting birdie.
As long as you don't like go too far. I think that's better.
Or if you go left of the gap, it is kind of specific.
But if you go too far left, you'll pinch to where you can't access the green. Right. And if you go too far like long, you can end up in the woods. I'm gonna have to have Eli blow out what you try to show. The filming. It is tough not to film down though.
Especially from there. You have to like lean way back. Yep. I remember last year, I tried that layup play and the birdie's a little too tough for me. Okay. And I've got a good enough forehand. I should be able to get it out the gap most of the time. Makes the upshot way easier to execute. There you go. So I'm gonna see if I can get a forehand out there. And it's just
looking nice.
So much easier if you can get through that gap.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's not a Mando, I think I got to try the over the top shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. The gap.
Try the last shot too. It's definitely possible.
Definitely doable. Okay.
If the wind isn't too bad too.
Because you just need to get out there. That's kind of my play anyways. Just throw it really high, as far as I can. Maybe a little Anheuser. Get out there. I mean, I kind of missed the gap, but might have stalled back too. We'll see.
So it makes it tough too. It's so likely to do that since you have to throw it so much higher.
Right.
Swarm did push too far, which I would have like a scramble shot from here, which not ideal.
Not ideal.
Zone ended up okay, but almost pushing too far left, even though it seems like it's right in the middle of the gap. It actually is kind of a tricky spot.
Actually over there. So he has to throw like a pushing, like Stahlheiser or something like that, and it's not the right angle to come in at the green.
No. And if I was like another 15 feet left, it'd be almost, I'd almost have to go like over the trees that way.
Right. Ideally, you're maybe 5 feet right of your bag here. That's why I don't like throwing it, man. It's a little too specific for me. I don't hit that spot often enough for me to make it worth it.
I'll have to keep trying it out. I might take the up the middle play too. I mean, worst case scenario with the aggressive play is you end up in this stuff and probably have some kind of chip out look anyway. Do you want to maybe like stand somewhere so you can see the basket too?
Oh, you think so?
Dude, I'm just trying to save you the pain from the comments, you know? Like, oh, why is Goose Man always standing in a bad spot? You know.
Yeah, I couldn't see that shot at all.
Basket. Basket.
Oh, wow. Did you go around the tree or inside of it? In front of it?
I went through the gap.
You went through the gap. That's crazy.
That's why I love this play. It's just easy, repeatable, not difficult.
Yeah.
At all.
The backhand, even though it did look pretty solid, did stall all the way back to being in the stuff. So, definitely need to go like a little flippy or something if I want to throw that shot. But the forehand pushed all the way through, and that's definitely going to be my go-to play.
This is such an ideal landing zone.
Especially for my skill set too. I think that the ideal shot is kind of like a touch putter approach. And if I can get out to here, then I can throw a forehand zone instead of the backhand. And that's way more kind of my cup of tea, I think.
Yeah. That is your cup of tea. Wow.
That's pretty ideal. You just want to get anything past that tree. The tree's like circle's edge. If you do go into either one of those trees, pretty nasty.
It's jail.
If you go 30 feet long into that stuff, really nasty. So, yeah, got to be pretty precise with the upshot.
It's a good hole.
Backhand spike hyzer plays.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. From that spot too?
Well, my throwing stats were just so good, so like that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why you were pinched off on the little like putter layup.
Yeah, on the 250-foot zone backhand with nothing in the way.
Very nice. Good bird.
Nice. Nice.
Lift. Ease.
Nice.
Let's go. Hole 6?
Hole 4.
4.
Yep.
There we go. 4. I can
Time
count.
flies. Well, time doesn't fly when you're not having fun, I guess. I'm almost making a miserable time for you. Does that make sense?
Nope.
Okay.
720-foot par 4. I like this hole a lot. Placement golf. The nice thing I like about this is the airspace is out to the left, so it plays really well for a flex forehand. Otherwise, you're throwing kind of a straight backhand, trying to stay in the fairway. If you get past this thing of trees on the right, it opens up a little bit more, so there's some more room. That's why I like the forehand. And then I think it's just whatever you've got down to the end to the basket. One of the things I really like here at Music City is they have a lot of these like gap shots off the tee to a placement landing zone into a somewhat interesting green. So you've got like 3 different aspects going there. You've got the placement golf, the gap shot, and the interesting green. Makes for good par 4s. That was not a flex forehand. Holy cow.
Did not see it. Man, I gotta zoom in fast.
That went up and then to the right. That's what I meant to throw at that first disc.
Oh, it did come back.
I think it did come back. So
Nice.
that's kind of the ideal play. And then I think a lot of people will be going like mid.
See, it's not that long of a hole, so I might have just been going like layup, backhand zone or something short of that.
I was thinking nebula maybe.
Maybe I feel like, yeah. Do you think this has a chance of going long enough on that right side though to be in that little like bubble out? That'd be my only concern.
I don't know. I thought you were just trying to go straight.
Yeah.
That's pretty short.
That is pretty short.
Birdieable from there though. So it's another one of those where like you keep birdie and play as long as possible.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
See, I don't know if I have enough distance to get past that bubble though. Obviously, I don't want to contend with that bubble. But I'm just thinking if I miss my shot a little bit, I want to still be in bounds. Oh, let's go with this disc. Pink Nuke.
You're a long ways away.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
It's
Anytime.
gonna be really difficult to get this close, actually. Oh, it flipped on me.
Yeah, it's tough into that headwind.
I haven't really thrown that disc. Oh, I got this disc. This is better. Hold. Hold. Oh man. Dude, the OB's tough on this hole.
Yeah. Ooh, that's really close.
I think that's good though, right? Maybe?
So instead of it going like straight all the way down,
Yeah, I
you can
got
see
you.
it curves there, the grass line, and then it goes off to the right.
Yeah.
So it's not even like it bubbles out. It just like pinches there.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I mean, it's gonna kind of force a longer second shot and make that upshot
Right.
more difficult.
Make the upshot more interesting.
But
And
it
the
also
OB's
doesn't
tighter.
really incentivize you to get too aggressive off the tee, which I don't necessarily like. But
Yep. Yeah, last year if you threw like nuke off the tee, you could get way down there and have like a zone into the pin, which was
Right.
nice.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't really want to do that this year. It was OB, but that's because I thought the OB continued. So now that I know that it curves right here, definitely gonna throw something shorter. Probably like a Crystal Raptor.
Right.
Just get it out to the left and then stay safe. You could even go Buzz OS. I think that's a pretty good play as well. I think this is ideally a forehand, but I need to go a little more stable. Here we go. Let's go NUKE OS.
Nice, dude. Yeah, NUKE OS fights the wind so
I think
well.
that's the way to play it. Especially especially out here when you don't know like how much wind there is on shots that it doesn't matter. Just throwing something really stable that fights the wind well is a good way to go.
It's tight.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was the grass line, like the grass is a little bit longer, about 20 feet off this OB line, but it is not.
Ezra went super safe off the tee and then had to go really aggressive on his second, and he went OB, and now he's got a par putt from about 50 feet versus I went a little too aggressive off the tee and went OB and had an easier upshot because of it.
Right.
And I've got a par putt from about 20 feet.
We need to find that middle sweet spot, I think, for both shots, probably.
Right.
Because like you feel super short, this green is so small.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think where you threw your nuke off the tee is probably about right.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not good putts.
It looks like a guy that just like wants to step putt, but decided not to.
I do sometimes. It'll happen. I didn't really last week, but.
Interesting.
Hole 5, we got a very technical shot here, very specific line. 375 feet. You can actually see the basket straight away, but it's kind of a sucker gap. It's very tight. Some people might take it straight mid-range or something. The biggest fairway is this pretty steep curving left to right, like S-shaped flex forehand shot, which I think most people are gonna be going for. And that's what I'm gonna attempt to. I usually go like just super beefy on a lot of Annie, try to get out to the left, and it has to be overstable to fight back and get back to the basket. So NUKE is what I'm going with. Honestly, this branch kind of gets in the way too.
Right.
You could like chop it high, but you can't really because of that. Not enough, Annie.
It'd be a shame if that branch just wasn't there for the tournament.
Go subscribe to our other channel, Ezra and Goose, doing course maintenance.
Course maintenance.
You already did it on that basket a few holes ago.
Yeah.
Much better angle, but that's not as stable of a disc.
Right. It's tough because it's easy to go too far left if you do get the turn, but it's easy to not get around that tree otherwise. I was throwing the shot really well at Waco on what it was at 14.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's a pretty similar shot. And I think the key to that shot for me was to kind of float it. You got to kind of like nose up, spinny, give it the extra time to fight. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. God, it's a good shape.
Too
Hopefully
short.
It's falling off.
Okay, I think, like you said, maybe the NUKE OS is the way to go.
I mean, like long is if you hit the gap right and the fairway, long is not
fine.
bad.
Right. Cut it a little tight, but that's the right shot.
But
all right, one more. Ooh, that one's not nearly as stable. Okay, one more.
I mean, Eli can just cut all these out if they don't good. So.
There's finally the shot.
So that one will stay in. Just for you guys at home, Eli had to cut out like 7 shots Goose just threw.
7.
Just
wait,
eight.
make it 8, make it 8, make it 8.
This ain't staying in. Oh, wait. What?
Staying in the basket.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, drift. Oh, so close. You think it's gonna drift?
No.
No?
I think it was gonna hyzer out into the woods anyway. I think it was a bad shot.
It was going right.
I couldn't see it. I was walking and my camera walk
gosh.
was shaky. Nobody saw it. My camera walk was so bad.
You're the worst. All right, my first one did end up short in the bush. Last one was also short, but got around the corner. NUKE OS was good. And then this is where I usually end up. Ezra's right here next to my machete. So pretty common to have this like 60-foot putt from over here. It's hard to go OB, so it's a pretty runnable putt. You get it there.
Yeah, that OB is another reason the up the middle shot is even sketchier because you can find that OB so much easier. From the knee?
I don't know, guys. Is he clean?
Knee
is
still?
he good there? Ooh.
Oh man, maybe not.
It's questionable.
Texas
Oh,
back,
now he's good.
whatever.
Nashville flip.
Oh! How much power I can get nowadays, though. Isn't that nice?
Wow.
And my knee's wet, so. I did a few guys.
It was all part of the plan. Hole 6, 777 feet. One of my favorite par 4s on the course. This one really does kind of give you that risk reward, that how much do you want to bite off. You got to play really good placement golf as well as hit a solid line. You're going most people be going a backhand hyzer down the center here. Try to keep it in the center. If you go too far left, there's not OB, but there is a creek and some woods that you have to contend with. And then your second shot is going to be kind of down the same kind of tunnel and then to the left. So basically 2 of the same shot. Some people be going backhand hyzer over the top of everything, but it puts you OB for a very long ways. So you gotta kind of weigh how aggressive you want to get. I'm gonna go onyx up the middle, see if I can land it in the middle. Get left. That was right what I was aiming at, but I thought it'd fade in front of it.
It was almost perfect.
Kind of a tough spot now that I'm right behind those trees. The hyzer thinks he's a big man.
I don't think I know.
He knows. Jeez.
Oh, don't go too far left.
It's kind of hard to go too far left.
It's probably good, right?
My guess is it's good, but it is pushing close.
I'll try this up the middle play. Oh, it's way too flippy of a disc.
Yeah.
Or is it
A little
gonna
bit
cut
what-
roll back to the fairway and actually the perfect stability? That might be the play. Go kind of flippy into the ground and then cut back. Yeah.
Try this over the top shot. So I don't really have the distance to just kind of clear everything. So I think I'm just gonna go high and try to spike it. I think that'll be okay.
Yeah.
Inbounds. Wow.
What do you think about that, Goose?
Wow. That's actually better than my shot that hit the tree.
Yeah, I've got a good spot right here, in bounds. I threw a good shot, I got rewarded. You threw a horrible shot, obviously, and so this is like fail.
I'm getting ganged up on by these trees, man. Look at this.
Yeah, this is not gonna end well.
They're like standing around kicking me. It's just a little baby Zeonyx.
At least he has like a little trident, he can fight him off.
He'll try his best. Man, that is a rough spot. I don't want to play that. This is the shot I throw, I guess. Oh boy. This is crazy.
That will play.
Yeah.
4 is not bad on this hole. This is pretty good, man.
Yeah, I'm happy with this.
Very overstable disc too.
I think I came inside this tree,
Yeah.
and then I think I want to do the same shot again. I'm thinking to myself, go left as you can, basically. Maybe not quite that left. That's pretty ideal.
Honestly, if I was like 30 feet further up, then that tree would be in the way, but right here I can just go.
Good thing you can't throw that far.
I know, it's good. It must suck to be AB. That would be rough. I like my line.
Look good.
Nice, man.
Thanks. This is the main issue with playing it too far left. You catch these guys short versus Ezra, went around everything and got all the distance. Playing like 2 safe shots, having a 40-footer for birdie is not bad. And we get the same score.
Same score. Not yet, dude.
Oh,
I
good
could
point.
miss that on purpose just to make your statement false.
Good point.
Same score.
Nice one.
All right, we have a 375-foot par 3 here. Totally blind. We have this hill in the way, pretty wide open, so you can throw forehand or backhand. People typically just pick an overstable disc and then throw it to where the bat's supposed to be and hope that it's good. Do you think this is one they'll put a triple Mando structure up?
That's
They
a good
might.
idea, actually. Everybody goes hyzer.
Right.
And like making people throw a straight shot would be a much better shot.
I could see that happening, so I don't know. Little cap wrap, little hyzer, little drift, little check, little skip, little roll.
You were short and left.
Short and left, okay.
You probably weren't short by the time it finished, but you might be OB left.
Try NUKE OS and go full right. Nice. 25 feet short right.
Short right? Okay. At least right is like safer.
Right.
You're not gonna get like the roll down the hill OB if you're right. I'm not a big fan of this one. I think it's just kind of like a stock hyzer. Everybody throws it. Some people throw it a little better than others, but some people go OB, some people don't. And I don't think anybody finds it a very interesting shot at all. Just to be clear, filler hole does not mean it's easy.
Right.
I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
Well, this probably is one of the easier ones.
It's basically just like the last hole was pretty sick. The next hole's super sick, and they had to find a way to get in between them.
In between them,
they fill it up with this, which is literally...
Instead of walking forever.
Right.
I was just telling Ezra this too. I think it would be kind of sick. They used to have a hole that played down here next to these trees, out and then over to the other side.
Oh yeah.
So you could even make it a par 4 of some kind, where you like tee off from in the woods there, something like that.
Right.
Maybe have something to do with these woods here to throw kind of a gap shot, and then go over to like an island green that's on like far corner across the water. And then the guys teeing off on the next hole would kind of go over the same airspace, but you wouldn't ever really infringe on each other's fairways.
Right.
And I think it'd be kind of a cool way of using that lake twice.
It'd be 2 really good holes for sure. It'd be interesting to see how everything would shake out with crossing stuff.
Crossing, right. It might be a backup.
But.
Yeah. I take this every time. Ezra's NUKE OS, not too bad, still in the circle. Captain's Raptor just OB, also pin high. My second forehand's probably a little longer and a little further into it. Yeah, I think coming up a little short right is probably the play. It keeps you the safest. Wow. That's a crazy one.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
There we go.
Wow.
Nuke. You know, you kind of want to end up right to like stay away from the OB. Like there's definitely the safer side, but now we have all this long grass, which is kind of definitely affects things a little bit. You know, I mean, maybe I'm tall enough to where it doesn't really. No, it's still high enough to think about.
Especially for me, I've got a very low swing on my putt.
Right. I mean, like that I definitely got this, and like it's even longer back over here too.
Right.
It's kind of an interesting way to, I guess, make one part of the green more difficult or make putting more difficult.
Make it like a half stroke kind of thing, like a bunker. Hole 8, 783 feet. This is a really solid par 4. This is the kind of thing Brody talks about a lot. You've got kind of a forced OB carry. I don't actually know where the OB is off the tee, but everybody's trying to get to the other side. And then you have this intersecting fairway that goes a different direction. So you can kind of pick up how much you want to bite off. Some people just be chipping out to the fairway right here, nice easy shot. Some people be going further, trying to get an easier birdie. And then I know AB especially has gone over the lake the whole way, big anhyzer, get way up there.
It's crazy.
So I know I can get to the basket with a forehand if I get far enough off the tee. So I'm gonna be ripping a distance driver, see if I can get up there. But I'm gonna try to play it safe. So a lot of hyzer and somewhere on that hillside is what I'm looking for. Yeah, pretty ideal. The side slope makes it a lot easier too. So any shot out there, it just makes the fairway bigger because you're kind of thrown into a hillside.
Yeah, I like that play too. The big Annie play seems way too high risk for the reward you get.
Yeah.
Although, man, it is nice to be long off this tee because the second shot does play long with the uphill.
Very nice.
Just like that.
As long as it's like hyzering like that, should be good.
Yeah, I like that hyzer too. Yeah, it's pushing up towards the basket after it crosses the inbounds. So
it's kind of staying on that plane for a while, so you can't really miss it once you get it on the right line. My biggest issue with this hole in general is you've got a lake. Okay, it's really the only water hazard on the course. I mean, there's a creek somewhere, but it's really a really nice thing to have on the course, and they don't use it at all.
Yeah.
So this tee shot, it's basically the same as artificial OB. We're just throwing through a gap, and they just have it roped off. You know, you can go get your disc if you throw it in there, because where we're throwing in right there is dry. I would love it if they would use this lake somehow.
It is pretty. They used to have some holes that did.
Right, and I think maybe this previous hole, make it shorter, make it a water carry.
Yeah.
Make it green over there. I do something. You got to use the lake.
I like it, man. I was thinking like we've been too positive this video, so I'm glad we found something to complain about still.
Yeah. Oh boy, about to get roasted.
Which one of us hit it? Which one was it?
You were a little short. I was a little long. I don't think it was us, man.
Bro, that is actually, I don't even know if we can show that. It's decapitated.
It is.
This is a crime scene.
Dead.
Do you think it's, who did this? Do you think it's a human? Or an animal?
Wow, good question.
It's decapitated. It's like one animal just like whips the head off and then just like
doesn't eat it.
Doesn't eat it.
I was thinking coyote, but you've got a point there.
Pretty savage. Could be a cat. Cats are pretty ferocious.
Yeah, but they're not catching and taking down a rabbit. Okay, anyway.
The cats I had going up would. All right, this is a pretty tricky upshot still, even though I'm in great position here. We've got this main gap on the left side. It's uphill. The right gap does play, but it's kind of guarded, so it's tough to get past everything. This is also like a great lefty shot, which is, you know, that Austin Tunnel pick I think is going to come in really clutch. My hold my bag fantasy. Oh my gosh, it's the worst shot ever, bro.
Low and in the tree.
I can't get if you want me to go over this tree?
Don't know about that play.
I don't have it doesn't go anywhere.
It goes high and in the tree. Don't know about that play.
I think you killed the rabbit, Goose. It was a goose the whole time.
Wascally wabbit. I'm just gonna see if I've got it or not, you know? I think that's about all there is to this shot. Being a little left's okay. I can keep it wide and then just come up a little left, and that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as you get around it. That's
not
like
bad.
Circle's edge.
Yeah. I kind of wish Roller would play, but it's one where I might just blast a backhand up this right side and hope I get.
I know, man. That's the one thing I really don't like about the hole, is it's like you kind of just throw it at that tree and hope you get through some of that squiggly stuff.
If you throw backhand.
If you throw backhand.
Which I think is fine. Like if you throw though it is a clean route, there is an ideal play if you go forehand. So like if you throw the backhand and hit something, it's like, oh, it's unlucky that I hit something, but it's like you took the Walsh line.
Okay, I hear you there. I'll raise you.
Yeah, you will.
You
don't have any chips left, Goose. You can't.
They should make that tree on the right out of bounds.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay? So then when you're throwing this shot and you're like, oh, well, I could get lucky or I could kick out of bounds, then you're thinking like, OB's right there. Right. If I get unlucky, I get double unlucky.
Yeah.
I think that would make this shot more interesting and less like just huck and hope. But let's just see what happens. I don't know.
Huck and hope.
I mean, that's pretty pure.
That skip is insane.
Wow.
You could technically find the OB.
I like that shot a lot too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, big lefty shot. Yeah, I definitely like the forehand play better, but if I am shorter or out of position, I'll throw the backhand and just hope I get through.
And honestly, I mean, like, we'll say in getting through, but like, as long as you do go pretty close to that biggest tree, like just inside of it, it's not even like fluky at all. That big tree and then like these little things, and that is a 25-foot gap. So.
Right, you definitely can do it pure. I just think that half the people that throw it aren't going to be pure.
What about just like going around that big tree?
Right.
Massive shot.
I don't think I have it.
Yeah, okay.
But you might. Definitely plays outside. That's a long ways up the hill into a headwind. Oh.
Wow. We're leaving those in.
I think it's farther up the hill than it used to be. I think it used to be down here, and the forehand played better, and now the backhand straight shot plays better. You'll see more like straight fairways, I think.
Right. We're on hole 9 here, 763-foot par 4. Real quick, there used to be a hole that we played up across this creek up there. Probably one of the most hated holes on the course by the pros and maybe the fans alike, so they cut it out, which is like good on them for removing the hole that was...
For listening, yeah.
Yeah, not a great hole.
I'm interested to see where it goes, though. You know,
right.
They just cut a hole out. So right now we're down 2 holes, basically.
Right.
No,
we might be back to even because hole 1 is they cut it in half. Hole 3 and made 2 holes.
Right. So I guess that's where it comes back.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I was like, okay, is it a net positive or net negative to cut that one out and also change hole 3? You know, I don't know. But this hole's a beast of a hole now. They've added OB on the right side. The play used to be just like crank over on Annie over these trees and get out into the field and then deal with whatever you have left and go to the basket.
Play it way out there.
But now that is a super sketchy play because you have to actually land it in a fairway. So you might see more people go up this middle like gap shot, which I'm going to try with a forehand.
Right, it does make it kind of a gap shot, but it still entices the over the top.
It does.
I was wondering if they should make it more of a gap shot, but just adding the OB does that.
I like those options now.
Yeah.
You have to think about it. You have to pick one of the things. I mean,
And you could still go really big and aggressive if you want to.
this shot's also kind of scary because if I turn it over, I also can go OB. Dude.
Didn't turn it over, but he did get the woods, went through the woods. OB right, somehow.
I still went OB. I don't know if I like that.
Crazy.
I don't know if I like that.
That is not what I expected to happen.
If I went big turnover backhand and turned it over too far right, I end up in the same spot.
Same spot.
So it's like I might as well. I'm gonna try that big spike highs on.
I think you'll see a couple players like maybe Calvin Heimberg just rip something up the middle.
Oh, backhand?
Yeah, just distance driver, like obliterated up the middle. Okay.
What about
that's a
that play? Give me left fairway. That might be in bounds. That might be the easiest way for me to be safe. It doesn't get any distance. That's part of the problem. So now I'm sitting super far away on a hole with a pretty tough green to access.
Yeah, I'll try the stall shot, see how it goes. For me, it's like a get it OB right and let it stall back to the fairway.
Yeah. Oh, more Anheuser would have been nice.
More Anheuser.
Yeah, I think people will be doing this, but it's crazy mine skipped OB. Like, the fact that you can still go OB right through here is wild.
You threw yours pretty like high and hyzered.
I did.
That's
Aw.
OB.
Oh no.
That's crazy. That shot's OB.
Yes.
Wow. That shot looked good, man. It's definitely a lift with that headwind. Golly. That can roll OB.
It looked easier than the forehand almost. I mean, it was obviously good. So.
Almost. Yeah, it's so far back too.
Crazy change, honestly.
All right, here's my best shot going up the middle. Did not get very far.
How long of a forehand do you think this is to the basket?
Let's see. I just want to see if I can get there.
Yeah.
That is 40 feet short, something like that, and I probably threw that 400.
Yeah.
So this is huge here. That's the best one up the middle. Both Ezra and I threw over the top as well. Got another 50 feet, way easier shot.
Right.
You have to go over the top, just spike highs around everything. Feel like it's kind of a cheat code for a hole. They made the hole really hard, which makes you want to go up the middle, and yet they give us you can throw a hyzer over the top. So it's like, I would maybe prefer if the tee pad was a little shorter, make this up the middle shot easier, and then maybe pinch that over the top shot.
Okay.
So that the over the top shot lands shorter, and the up the middle shot gets you farther up the fairway and you make it a little easier. So,
I think it's still, I mean, the thing is, if you end up right with the over top shot, you cross like right by the tee box, it's basically a rethrow.
basically a rethrow.
So
It is high risk.
Pretty good risk to it. I mean,
I'll give you that. I just I think that everybody's gonna be throwing that shot now.
yeah.
And that's not really what they're after with the whole design. Honestly, pretty ideal spot.
Yeah.
You're even far enough left you could throw backhand from here.
Oh, right. Yeah. Backhand turnover.
Backhand turnover is a little more playable than, you know, if you're way off to the right.
Right. Get on up there.
It's a good shot.
It's all right. Man, dude, this hole is...
Really far,
This used to be a hole you kind of wanted to get, and now it's like, I'm going to be pretty happy with the par.
Don't get a bogey. Yep. All right. I think that's the first time I've seen you throw that disc in like
It's
3 tournaments.
It's been a while. I haven't had to. I don't know.
Have
That's
you just
what's
kind of like
disappointing.
lost your passion?
No, it's like it's still always a passion. It's just like I don't know what's going on. You know, I feel like I'm throwing something else instead of it. I just don't have the. They don't give me opportunities to.
Yep. Ezra's passion and my nuke ended up about 60 feet short in the crap. So definitely need to get that full shot off the tee and then throw a huge forehand to get yourself like a long look.
It's nuts, man.
Yeah.
A dream scenario right here to get tried.
Right. That's good backhand off the tee, good forehand to get yourself a 45 footer.
That putt's back. Never mind. No.
Get yourself a tap in par.
Tap in par's not that bad on this hole.
Yeah.
Can we just cut out all the putts today?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe leave those in though. Don't cut those out. Hey! Woo! Oh, that's all 9. All right, guys, we did it. Front 9 is done. He got the Music City open. We got 9 more holes.
Yep, very similar to last year. Some changes will be on the back, as well as my hold my bag picks.
Oh,
if
man.
you want to hear my picks for who's going to win MCO,
They're gonna be so bad.
check that out on the back 9.
I wonder if they should I wonder if they'll release a rankings, you know, just so that everyone knows you get last place in it. You know, like Goose did, Wilson, everyone with his picks. I'd like to see it, but definitely go to Goose's channel, check out the back 9. We're getting ready here for the tournament. Check out DGN coverage. Try to get on coverage more.
Yeah,
and
that'd be nice out here for sure.
You gotta focus more. It's really, you know, what does not plan as good in the PAX round, YouTube round.
Yep.
It's just different, you know. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.